Deshaun Watson is indeed so freaking awesome. Look at this, 4,823 passing yards for a 4-12 team.
So
nothing around him.
Awesome.
He's got nothing around him. He had 7 games this year with a passer rating of 110 or more and lost them. Tom Brady, for his entire career, has 3 games that he's lost where he had a passer rating in excess of 110. Deshaun Watson had 7 in 1 year. That tells you that the cupboard around Deshaun Watson, Chris, is bare. We talked about this last hour as it relates to the attractiveness of the job. There is some heavy lifting that needs to be done in Houston to put the team around Deshaun Watson that he needs. Having the franchise quarterback is not the ending. It's the beginning. Actually, having offensive and defensive lines is really the beginning.
Yeah.
But the beginning of being a truly competitive team is having a franchise quarterback. They don't have enough around the franchise quarterback to be anywhere near as competitive as they need.
No, I mean, that's why, I feel like he's the beacon or the great shining example this year for people to understand, like, it's not all about the quarterback. It's not all about the quarterback. You got to build a damn team. That's what the name of the game is. Deshaun Watson, it's undeniable. I mean, that he's one of the 5 or 6 best quarterbacks. Nobody can watch football and not think that when you watch Deshaun Watson. It's just not possible. What is there that's not good or not awesome? Everything he does is top level. Movement in the pocket, awesome. Throwing of the football, awesome. Touch, power, whatever you want to say, it's all awesome. Running out of the pocket, extending plays, awesome. Toughness, awesome. Leadership, awesome. Charisma, awesome. I mean, the guy's the man, but there's only so much he can do. 4-12 football team where they were in most of the games because of him. But, I mean, they're a 1-15. They're an 0-16 team without Deshaun Watson. That's how special he is. That's what he's done for their football team. And, yeah, man, they got a lot of work to do there down in Houston on both sides of the ball.
He said after the game on Sunday when they lost to the Tennessee Titans, there's no real foundation in view.
Yeah.
Everyone sees it. That would scare the crap out of me if I was a Texans fan, because I'm not saying it's going to happen now. He just signed that big contract. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, to deal with the cap issues and the guarantees and whatnot. But they got 1 year, maybe 2, before Deshaun Watson starts thinking he's better off somewhere else, potentially. And I'm not saying that I know anything there. I never do. I'm putting myself in that situation. Or son, nephew, cousin, friend, client, anyone you care about. What advice would you give to them? And the advice at some point is you got to get out of here. And if a franchise quarterback isn't all in, this gets back to the Carson Wentz point. If you're not all in, it's one thing for the team to say to a running back or a receiver, defensive end, sorry, we have your rights under contract for the next 3 years. You need your franchise quarterback to be the boss on the shop floor. The guy who's busting his butt, the guy who's rallying his teammates, the guy who's setting the example for the kind of work ethic that they want, showing up early, staying late, studying film. If you get a quarterback who doesn't want to be there and he just decides, I'm just going to do the bare minimum because apparently everyone else is doing the bare minimum too, that's not sustainable. So if he does decide he wants out, Chris, I don't think the Texans have any choice but to accommodate that. If he comes to that conclusion at some point in the future. I'm not saying he will. I'm not saying he's there. But when you hear a comment, there's no real foundation in view and everyone sees it, that puts the team on notice. They better get a foundation in view or he's going to start looking around.
Yeah, well, he's not happy. He's not the kind of guy that's ever going to be like, oh, well, I'm not going to try hard or do anything like that. He's just not. So it'll be to where, yeah, it could be 2 years from now or whatever, and if it's still the same crappy-looking football team, he will let it be known. I mean, there's just no way. But I think his point is real. And I think he does say that tactically in a right way, out loud, to kind of let it be known through ownership team. Like, what do we have here right now? What is the foundation? Me? Like, and only me? Where are we going? J.J. Watt, it's over. He's still a good player, but you're not building anything around him. Other than that, what else is there really to build around in Houston? That's what's scary, and that's where it's going to be a really uphill climb for whoever comes in there to be the GM, head coach, and do that. But the number one thing is, like you said, They got to make him happy. That's where I look at it and just go, man, Eric Bieniemy with the Houston Texans, that just makes so much sense to me. You know, his way with quarterbacks, I think he's the right guy that could, you know, light a fire under the organization, keep Deshaun calm while they build the team and keep his eyes on the prize down the road and everything like that. I'm hoping that's what happens. You know, like I said, I'd love to see Eric Bieniemy, one, because he deserves it, and then two, I'd like to see Deshaun Watson get a chance to play in that offense.
They are talking to Deshaun Watson about what he's looking for in a coach, and there are some who would say that's not the player's role, never give the player that kind of power. We've had that conversation over the years, Chris, not you and I per se, but it's come up in the media. When Brett Favre politics for free agents, when other quarterbacks say this is what I want, that's what I want, Russell Wilson doing that last year. My position is this. If you want the quarterback to basically be a quasi-member of management, and you do, you want him to be the guy who's spreading your message in the locker room and setting the example and setting the tone, you need to give him some management rights. You need to let him have a seat at the table for the big decisions. And you better have a coach that Deshaun Watson feels good about, because he surely doesn't feel good about a lot of what's going on the roster right now.
I think what you're saying
coach is
real.
A starting point.
Yeah, I get you. You got to make him think he's a part of this. You know, not that he has to make the decision, but like you said, it's about keeping him happy. He's their prized possession, and it's 2 years. The world can change. So let's keep him happy and go along here, but they should be building around Watson. We know that.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.